The hardest person you'll ever lead is yourself. And generally, everybody would love to lead or loves to lead, wants to lead. We want to lead teams, we want to lead movements, we want to lead in our families, we want to lead in business, and we also want to lead in relationships. It's part of our nature. And leadership, you'd hear people saying others are born for it, and then others would say, Gute, you are able to learn it or cultivate it along the way. But very few people are willing to lead themselves first or have that courage to look deep within themselves and learn to lead themselves first, because self-leadership is very uncomfortable. It requires honesty, when excuses feel easier, and it requires a discipline when motivation disappears, when things are not looking good, and it requires courage when nobody is clapping for you or is supporting you as a leader. So yeah, it's a reflection, Jay, on leadership and what it is and maybe what it is not. Leading yourself really means becoming the kind of person you keep expecting others to be for you. Ubayi loko, what you're expecting of others. It means holding yourself accountable, because we want to hold people accountable. It means keeping promises to yourself. It means managing your emotions responsibly, regulating your nervous system, and choosing growth even when it is inconvenient. Because if you cannot direct your life, your emotions, your patterns, your habits, and your decisions, then how can you direct anyone else? Yeah, but so yeah, self leadership is also not perfection. It is just consistency. It's deciding that I will not abandon myself or abandon my team or abandon my role as a leader, even on the difficult days, and especially on the difficult times and days. And what does it look like? It looks like many things. It really does. Learning to keep small promises to yourself. If you said you'll take that walk, take that walk. When you said you'll wake up at 5 a.m., wake up at 5 a.m. Finishing what you start, reading what you need to read. It's confidence being built as you go along, and learning to trust your own words. It's developing emotional discipline. It's knowing that not every emotion deserves a reaction. Leading yourself means learning how to pause before responding, asking yourself, am I reacting from pain, ego, fear, or am I now going to respond from a posture of wisdom? And emotional maturity is, in essence, leadership. It's taking responsibility, man, for your life. Self-leadership is stopping to blame everyone for where you are as a leader, or for the shortcomings, or for whatever that might even go wrong in your own leadership space. Yes, life can be unfair. Yes, people can disappoint you, but healing begins when you ask yourself, what is my responsibility right now? What is the way forward right now? And this question changes everything, And if you're a leader that cannot sit with themselves, you will struggle to lead yourself. Because remember, it's also about self-mastery. So you need to create quiet moments for prayer, for reflection, for meditation, for introspection, for auditing yourself as a leader, as a person. You cannot lead a person you have never taken time to understand. So you have to learn to understand yourself. And yeah, some days you will feel inspired, but some days you will not, because motivation comes and goes, but discipline has to stay. You'll feel tired, you'll feel distracted, you'll feel discouraged, you know. And yeah, like I said, the hardest person you'll ever lead is yourself. But once you learn how to guide your own mind, you know, your habits and your emotions, you stop living accidentally and you start living intentionally. Because before we can really ask for to be able to influence others, ask to be able to be followed by others, we have to learn to steward ourselves, you know. We have to learn a consistency in private. And yeah, before self-leadership is the foundation of every kind of any leadership. And before you try to lead others, just have the courage to lead yourself first.